Hey, MVP here. Just going to talk about the trading week. Week ended 19th of August, 2011. Got a few charts up here I want to talk to you about. Let's start with this chart in the middle here. It's on a 4-hour. It's on a 500 setting. And what it's going to show you is the 8 currencies here and how they moved in the week. This was the start of the week, coming in on the Monday. This was the end of the week. This is the finishing line. And we're going to talk about the winners and the losers this week. Okay? Okay, this actually is the 1 hour US 30, but it's still giving you the start to the end of the week, so it's not that different to here. And just to give a story of the week, as people, as you probably know, first half of the week was actually quite bullish, coming through to Wednesday. Then come Thursday, things turned pretty sour. Economic news, economic events, and really from then on in, it was an absolute disaster. What did we were up around the 11.4s, 11.5s here. We managed to get comfortably down to the 10.8s. That's a 600-point fall. Absolute disaster, and Thursday was a disastrous day. Friday continued through. So that was what was going on through the week. And let's just see how that reflected in the markets. The two winners are in bold. Pound had a great week. Austerity measures doing okay. I think it was really the fact that we didn't have any bad news. This week has been really all about people trying to seek any currencies that weren't disastrously giving out bad news or bad vibes, and trying to go to them and look for safe havens. So the pound did very well, actually. Believe it or not, the euro did fairly well. Here it is coming in at the start of the week, came along here, picked up, came off a bit, and then rallied into Friday. So again, these two currencies did relatively well this week, mainly because others were suffering, others were under pressure. Okay, so they were the winners. Okay, if I'm going to be frankly honest, there were really only two relatively obvious losers in the week. This is the turquoise, this is the New Zealand dollar. Took a big hit at the start of the week, a really big hit, and rallied, but then came off as well. Obviously, as the market started to fall, equity markets did start to fall, and people really were worried about where their money was going. Obviously, these guys that tend to work in positive correlation with the equity markets, they did take a hit. Just dropping down its brother here, the Aussie dollar. Opened, closed, relatively flat. It just wasn't as volatile, and I don't know if any of you do trade these two currencies through the night. Normally, obviously, when they're more alive. I'm talking about London. I'm based in London here, so these to me would be through the night, through the Asian session. Trading very similar in pattern, obviously correlated quite closely, but the New Zealand dollar is generally more volatile than its Aussie brother, its Aussie big brother, and it certainly was this week. So the only other casualty, well, not surprisingly, again, if you're following the markets, the poor Swissy is taking a hammering at the moment from its Swiss National Bank. I'm just going to expand this for a second, and you'll see why. This was last week. And as you can see, as you know from last week, the markets really loved Swissy. They loved the Swissy last week. They couldn't get enough of it. They absolutely ate it up all through the week. And the Swiss National Bank intervened. It did everything in its power to soften it. And as you can see, it's not letting off the accelerator, is it? It really isn't. It is going to keep hammering the Swissy and going to drive it further south. And if you bear in mind that on Thursday and Friday, this really was a disastrous equities market where people would have been fleeing to the Swissy here. Look, yeah, it did turn up, but can you imagine how much liquidity was flooding the market there to keep that flat? Incredible amounts of liquidity. Will it last? Well, I think the market's got deeper pockets than the Swiss National Bank, to be perfectly honest, so we'll just have to see. Gold actually was where the money went because people couldn't, or speculators were realizing that they couldn't make money buying the Swissy, and we'll talk about gold in a minute. But overall it fell, and that was purely Swiss National Bank, and probably the initial move up in the market the first three days, which really was where it took the pain. Okay, so they were the two losers, the New Zealand dollar and the Swissy. Okay. Okay, if you trust me on this one, everything else was pretty flat. There's the CAD there, the the Aussie dollar that we've talked about. The greenback, the US dollar, relatively flat. Had a flat week actually. Again, there was obviously variance and movements through the week, as all markets cycle and move up and down, oscillating, but pretty flat. So that was it. That was it. Okay. Just going to put up a gold meter, which is again it's a proprietary chart. I'm sorry about this. It was shared with a co-developed with another programmer, so I can't put that for free on my Trade to Win site. But let me just show you that. Okay, it's relatively easy to build this. All I do is I throw gold valued in US dollars, which is obviously the standard thing. It's up at about 1900 US at the moment dollars. I do a little bit of I throw it into the mix of my currencies, which are over here, yeah, which we just talked about, and then I just obviously give it a relative value against these guys just to see if it's moving up or down. So regardless of the US dollar price of this, this is gold. This is just gold as a currency, as it's always been for about 5,000 years. And as you can see, it is absolutely kicking some butt. Look at that. What a climb through the week. So, I was telling you over here that, the pound did quite well. Well, this is it graded against the gold. And you can see that it doesn't even touch the size on what gold did this week as something to buy. So gold was the currency to buy. Go back a week, and it was doing pretty well last week. You see here, do you remember last week the Swissy was doing well? Swissy came away due to Swiss bank intervention. Gold kept going. And as you can see, very, very interesting. Remember I said on Thursday, the fall in the equities market, people went to the Swissy. They couldn't get the movement. No movement. The Swiss bank was selling. What did they do? Look where the kick came on gold. The kick came here. Okay, people couldn't get any return down in their currencies. They couldn't get any love on the yen either. They went to gold. And that's going to be quite an interesting play next week as well if this continues. Although how far will gold go before people start selling off? They did sell off Friday a little bit. Or is it going to keep charging up? We will have to see, viewers. We will have to see. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to move my US 30, which is the Dow, here, and I'm going to bring up the legendary Hr 20 system that I offer for free at my Trade to Win site. This is an 80 moving average up here on a 1 hour. This is a 20 moving average here. I'm not going to go into how we trade this, but generally, if the equity markets are climbing, we will look to sell the yen and the dollar. If the equity markets are falling, we will be looking to buy the yen and the dollar against other currencies that are showing opposite movement. Okay? So let's see how we did. Okay, we're going to whistle through this quite quickly. Okay, using this arrow, what happened on Monday? Tell me what happened Monday. The Dow rose. Therefore, we will be looking to sell the yen and the dollar, but they've both got to be below the line. Where do they get below the line? About there, don't they? Go down here, go down here. That's where they both go below the line. So from then on in, I'll be looking to buy whatever's available. Looks like the euro was a good buy. Looks like pound was quite a good buy. Quite a lot of them. So Monday was a great day. You came in the back end of that. This was happening around, I don't know. This was happening around lunchtime. So this was early US session, and nice trades. Nice trades. Okay. New Zealand dollar there was taking pain. We've talked about that already. It doesn't matter. If the New Zealand dollar's falling alongside these guys, that's giving more power to these buys here. Remember, it's a zero-sum game. The fallers must equal the risers. So the more people that are falling here with these guys, it gives you more money up here. More money up here. More money to spread around. Okay, let's go to Tuesday. If you can read this, apologies, a little bit small. Now, Tuesday was quite a chop, okay? It did move up and down ranging, but again, you have to remember, what we're trying to do is always looking for when the Dow is being aggressive and going above its 20 MA and its 80 MA. So it did happen. It did happen during a brief period of time here. Can't exactly pick that up. It looks to me into the US session. But anyway, there was a period there when it was above its 80 and its 20. I would hazard a guess and say that was probably around here. A little bit messy there, but again, the 80 on the US dollar here was below the zero all through the day, so we were really trying to get the 20 back. It did come back here. It was messy. I mean, I grant you that it wasn't for long, but can you see the pound? Look at the explosion on the pound. That was the trade of the day. So you would have made money there hanging in, came back, it dropped in again later on in the US session, late US session. So there was some money to be made there. But again, it was quite there wasn't that much. The pound dominated there as a buy, but that was a trade and it would have triggered on the 80-20 system. Now, let's talk about Wednesday. Wednesday was pretty much the same thing. As you can see, plenty of buy-in early on in the global session. So that would have been through the back end of the Asian into the London session. And again, what do you see up here? You see the guys south, the yen and the dollar. And look at this, plenty of selling here. So what are we doing? We're buying. Look at that fantastic pound there. You would have been on the pound. Another phenomenal signal there. And the Aussie dollar was also giving you plenty of pleasure. Okay, it started to ease off towards the end. But again, a big trade on Wednesday if you used this system. Okay, here's Thursday. Now, Thursday was cataclysmic. So what do? We switch. As equities fall, we look to buy the yen and the dollar. So here they are above the zero. They've come above the zero already, all through the Asian. See, through the Asian session, late Asian session, they're already in. So what are we doing, everybody? We are buying these guys and selling who's below the line. Everyone came below the line. It was absolutely a sell fest. The only thing that really didn't tickle our fancies, if you look there, was the pound. The pound was very shy. Look at the Aussie dollar, look at the euro, look at the New Zealand dollar that I've already said had a bad week. And this is where the pain got really exacerbated on Thursday. So again, nice trading day. Okay, now on Thursday it was aggressively south, but it did come back during late London US session. It came back up, and therefore the trades were turning off on the on this. Then they came back in late session. As you can see, the fact that this was still falling meant that we had to keep these guys above the zero. See how they came below the zero here? So we actually lost momentum here for trading. There was no trades. The only real trades, it didn't make it back. So actually, it was a no trade day pretty much on Friday. No trade day, so there wasn't that much that came on. Sorry about that, but hey, you've had 4 good days of trading there. That's the 80-20 system. Right, I've talked enough. Have a great trading week next week. Keep safe. It's very volatile out there, so you can make plenty of pips. But be careful. Keep those stop losses tight, and don't chase your losses. Okay? This is MVP signing off. Have a great trading week. You know where I am if you want to talk to me. And have a good week. Cheers. Bye.